we've really shown you guys a lot of time at the house. It's almost been like those old sitcoms like Good Times, Sanford and Son, some of the other shows where they never left the house. The whole storyline was all in the same apartment, same place, and that's kind of how these Daniel Fast videos have been. But today will be a little bit different because we're going to go to a few stores, my son and I, and it's going to be further away from home. Yes, we're going to go to Bass Pro Shop for one of those stores, and I'm going to need to show you guys like what you would eat when you're traveling, because on the Daniel Fast we can't really go to regular restaurants. Like we talked about in earlier videos, if you go to a restaurant, your options are like a salad with no dressing, no cheese, no croutons, like lettuce and maybe some cucumber is what you can get at a restaurant. And so I'm just going to show you the kind of food that I'm going to take with me on something like this. First up, we've got the simple carrots, strawberries. Then we come over here, we've got some of the matzo bread that we used last night for some hamburgers. Or not really hamburgers, some veggie burgers. And then we've got the no leavened all wheat bread. A few leftover chips that we made. We showed that in the last video. And then I've got almonds, pistachios, raisins, some dried fruit that I can't eat on the Daniel Fast, but little man can eat.
I don't like dried fruit. I just tried it.
And then we've also got apples, oranges, bananas, and we've got enough water to drown a camel, so I think that we're going to be good. Whenever we go on adventures like this, I like to take extra food. I like to pack more than I'm going to eat, and so that's probably going to be the case with a lot of this. It's probably not all going to get eaten, but it'll be nice to have it in case you change what you want or things like that. So I've just overpacked on the Daniel Fast, and it is a little sad that like there's not hot options that you can take with you, something that you can easily heat up or something that you could keep warm long enough, but this is what we're going to be able to eat, and we're still going to have a good dinner later today, so it's really not a big deal. And speaking of which, we had a great dinner last night, something we'd never tried before on the Daniel Fast or just in general, and so I'm going to show you that clip right now. Tell me what you made.
So I made Mexican bean burgers. So it's just some kidney beans all smushed up, steamed carrot, onion, pepper, a little bit of seasonings, and then I've got this matzo bread that I just cooked in the pan for the bun, and then some chips and salsa, because also there's salsa in the burger. So, thoughts?
It's really interesting. You can really tell that there's bell pepper in there. But I like the texture a whole lot, because we've done black bean burgers while on the Daniel Fast, but we've never made this recipe at all, the bread thing or the patties. I really like the bread. This reminds me of the quesadilla burger I used to get at like Chili's. But it's good. If there was a sauce option,
I thought about putting salsa on it.
Yeah, I did too. But I think like, you know, some kind of aioli or something, if you could do that. Obviously you can't on the Daniel Fast, but that would take things up another level, I think. But it's good.
So I agree with you. It's very interesting. I like it. I do like the crunch of the bell pepper. Like I probably could have cut them smaller, but I enjoy it. And then the texture is awesome. So maybe
compared to every other veggie burger thing that I've ever had when we've been on these different fasts and things.
Different fasts and house cakes and things. The texture is awesome. So I'm in.
Would you do it again?
Yep.
When you do it again, not on the Daniel Fast?
With an aioli, yes.
Okay, and I'll put a link in the description to wherever she got this recipe from, so that way you guys can find it.
It was in a book, but we'll have it for you.
I'm sure there's a way to do it. We'll figure it out. Now all that's left to do is just get changed so we can head out the door. I've seen some YouTube people do this, so I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. Hey, it worked for all of us.
Hey!
That's pretty cool. So why do you not get to go on this adventure?
Because I'm going to go do the Lord's work.
Oh, make us look bad. Okay.
I am going to go help our friends paint their new house.
Yes.
So, I get to go do that, and y'all get to have an adventure.
I get to get out of it, so.
Yeah, you get out of manual labor, and I get into it.
Get into it somehow. It's weird. But we get to have a boys' day, so it's going to be fun and definitely worth it.
I'm leaving not at the same time.
Go.
Those things.
Stop one completed. Got some pretty cool old Christianity books. One about Christ and the Fine Arts. So it's all about pictures and poems and songs all about Jesus. and then the life of Christ. And I just thought that spine was too good to pass up, and I'm sure that it'll also be a pretty good book. And then little man's got his own haul back here of books, but now we're on to the next stop. Where are we going?
The Bass Pro Shop.
The Bass Pro Shop.
And the gas station.
And the gas station. One of the things I really like to do is get these older Christianity books. One of them actually has a name and date in it from 1946. But I always gravitate towards the older covers and things like that because I don't think the information in Christianity's changed, but perspectives of a lot of things have changed. So it's interesting to see previous generations' perspectives. And also in those older books, like that's the stuff you're not going to find just on any shelf. So when I see them, I like to buy them because what's the chance I'm going to see that book from the 40s again? And they just look cooler, if we're just going to be completely honest. So I always just like to pick towards the older books. That's what I gravitate toward. Whenever I'm in a bookstore, whenever I'm around used books, I always go towards the older books. And often the information is rich and good, and you'll find even like little notes or little old bookmarks in the pages, and it's just a neat experience. I also want to take a minute to talk about like a few things today. So this was supposed to be our weekly recap video, and it will technically still be considered somewhat of a weekly recap of our Daniel fast, but not a lot's changed. We still miss the same things we missed last week. We're still not dying for those things. We're still enjoying the Daniel fast. We're still doing stuff, and we had the one really good, unique new meal that you guys have already seen. So all in all, it's just been a good time on the Daniel fast. We're still enjoying it, but we are looking forward to when we get to go back to a little bit looser of a diet here in the coming weeks.
Yes. Wait, I said something for you.
Pro Shop, and somebody got some pretty cool stuff, and of course orange fashion. Now we're gonna head over to the mall and get him some food, and I'm gonna go ahead and have a quick snack here in the car. Just got a couple little things, some of the unleavened bread, banana, some nuts, and some raisins. I already had some oranges on the drive, but I wasn't gonna film and eat and do all that. It seemed too dangerous. I did have the ambitions of taking this matzo bread, or however you say it, that Labor made yesterday, and buying some all-natural peanut butter while I was out and like using that on this. But at the moment, I don't feel like going to a grocery store. So we may do that at some point, and we may not. What do you think? You don't need a net in your mouth.
Good.
All right, and just like that, we are back from our trip, and we really went everywhere today. We went here, there, and everywhere. You saw a little bit what I ate, but I like to talk about, I just want to recap because I'm not sure I did the best at showing it. It's hard to vlog in the car, and it's hard to vlog in what seems to be the busiest places that I've been in a long time. And so I just want to take a minute. I did end up finding some peanut butter. This is just, I guess, what would you say, ground peanuts. Freshly ground peanuts from Fresh Market. I don't know if that's like a national chain or what, but we ended up near one when we went to Best Buy, and so we popped in there, got this. I did eat it on the matzo bread on the way home, and it was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was great. I'm not going to say it was the best thing I had, but it was pretty good. Peanuts are really good. This fresh peanut butter is really good, but obviously it's not sweet. There's no sweetener in it, and on the Daniel fast, we can't add sweetener. So it's a mixed thing. I'll eat it definitely some more before this thing is over, but I'm not sure I'll bring the two back together in the future. Also, finally found some plantain chips. They're just plantain chips, palm oil, and salt, and I looked it up, and we can't have palm oil. So these were a nice little snack. And other than that, I think I had a banana at one point, had some nuts, and had some like oranges on the way, and that was pretty much it. I just really, and the unleavened bread. So it was just about taking a bunch of things that I know I enjoy and trying to have those things on hand for when the hunger strikes. Now, when somebody had ice cream and French fries for lunch, that really messed me up a little bit, having to watch that. But no hard feelings. My day is coming again soon. We'll get to have those things in just one more week. We have one more week left on the Daniel fast, and so we can't wait to see what's going to happen next week and to make the final video. Next week, the final video will come out, the end of our 21 days on the Daniel fast. So I hope you guys will stay tuned for that. If you like this video, it helps us out so much if you like it. And if you'll subscribe, we'll be bringing out all kinds of more faith-based content, faith-style vlogs as the year goes on. Oh, and this is the really neat plant that I found for Bree at the Fresh Market. So I thought that was really cool. Oh, and before I forget, what did you guys think of the intro sequence? If you haven't listened to our podcast this week, Better Together, that's on our other channel. You can search More God, Less Me podcast. Hold on, buddy, almost finished. And we can do, it's on the Better Together podcast. That's also under More God, Less Me. You can find it. We talked about scheduling our lives. I talked about my dream morning routine. And that was kind of an example of what my dream morning routine is. Waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, kind of 5:30 today, woke up a little late. But getting on the bike, exercising for 10 minutes to get woke up, get the exercise going, getting the blood flowing, and then turning to prayer, turning to study, spending some time working on some things. And that's really that's my dream morning routine. So I'd love to hear what your dream morning routines are. And there'll probably be some videos coming in the future about trying to adapt to that, how it's going, what happens after doing such a dream routine for a month. But until I make those videos, we'll see you guys in the next one. God bless. What's up?
You forgot to do that watermelon.
I did forget to mention the watermelon. I'm sorry. We got a watermelon.